This is an introduction to the new pq2 application, which allows users to build embeddable quote widgets for their own websites. I've prepared two websites here, www.foo.bar and a.b.c, etc. Here's the pq2 screen. Let's create an account. Right, this shows we are signed in, and here's a list of all the quoter modules that are available right now. Term life insurance. But we get a redirection there because each quoter module requires a license fee be paid for it. So I'll go off screen and enable this module for our new user. Check that, and we'll see how she goes. Alright, it looks like we can customize this quoter to some extent. Start with header text. Maybe you don't like the spelling because it's just wrong there. So we'll type our own message or nothing at all. I like a little text. Form action indicates where we want the lead information sent. So foo.bar/leads.php. Host name is for the host where we're going to embed this quoter. I don't need to add the subdomain to this because any subdomain off of the domain I enter here will be an approved match. And we can change the colors a little. Let's say we want it to be transparent. Let's say we want the header text to be magenta and the border color should be, whatever. That's text color. Anyway, you get the idea. Let's say we don't want to trouble people with a lot of fields down here because we know after they view their quotes they're going to get the opportunity to give us all their information. Let's just see if we can get a phone number up front. This checkbox indicates that the snippet down here is in sync with what we've been building here, so I'll copy that and we'll go paste it into the code of my two web applications. There's one snippet, there's another snippet. You may notice up here I have some CSS with a selector that doesn't apply to anything in my code, but it does apply to something that I know will appear in the quoter. Because we don't use an iframe, you're free to make any CSS or JavaScript you want to further customize the look and behavior of the quoter on your page. One important thing to note is it's important to specify your doc type up here, because if your users are on IE and there's no doc type, they'll start in quirks mode, which will make everything look terrible. More terrible than IE usually does. Let's see. Alright, let's load up our two pages. See if this loads alright. That looks pretty good. Just what we expect. Now, this is not a matching domain for what I entered into the host name over here. And the widget still loads. However, that does not mean that you will get quotes to come through. Let's give it some test data. And we get a 403 error. This is a forbidden resource. Contrast that with what we get here. If we give it some valid data, and it tells us that there's an error. We can go back, edit this, and just give it a more reasonable weight. And bam, we've got a bunch of data here. You know, this would all be black, except earlier when we built the widget, we set the text color there. So we'll pick a result that we like, and that'll take us to the next page. You notice that the home phone field is already populated from what the user entered earlier, and you'd get the same result with the name across these two and your email. And let's check out the form action and make it sure it's pointing where we want. Yes, www.foo.bar leads.php. It's an important thing to note about this is that you should be using HTTPS. If you look if you take this apart and look at the front end, you'll see that when we submit information to the pq2 application to get quotes in the second step, we are not using HTTPS, but that's because we are never submitting any of your personal identifying information on your lead to our application. We never see their phone number, anything like that. but you will, and because you're submitting personally identifiable information with health information, you'll need to ensure that you're using SSL to protect that information. And I think that is it.